China fires back at U.S. trade policies, defends rare earth export restrictions. But is this just the beginning of a new trade war? In a sharp rebuttal to Washington's latest economic moves, Beijing has accused the Trump administration of hypocrisy while standing firm on its decision to limit exports of rare earth minerals, critical components in everything from smartphones to military hardware. Surprisingly, China refrained from immediately retaliating with new tariffs, leaving room for potential negotiations even as tensions escalate. Here's what sparked the latest clash last Friday. President Trump announced staggering 100% tariffs on select Chinese imports, along with plans to restrict exports of vital software by November 1st. This came as a direct response to China's recent tightening of rare earth export controls, a move Trump labeled as hostile. The decision sent shockwaves through global markets, with tech stocks plummeting and businesses scrambling to assess their reliance on Chinese supply chains. But here's where it gets controversial. China's Commerce Ministry insists its export restrictions on rare earths, a group of 17 minerals essential for high-tech manufacturing, are justified, citing U.S. actions that severely harmed China's interests. Among the grievances listed, the blacklisting of Chinese firms and new port fees imposed on ships linked to China. Yet, Beijing carefully avoided explicitly tying these disputes to its rare earth curds, instead framing them as a precaution against military misuse amid rising global instability. A delicate balancing act, unlike previous trade spats where both nations rapidly escalated tariffs, reaching peaks of 145% from the U.S. and 125% from China. Beijing held back this time. In a measured statement, the ministry warned, "We don't want a tariff war, but we won't back down if pushed." This restraint suggests a possible pause for diplomacy ahead of a planned Trump-Xi summit later this month. Or is it merely a tactical delay before a stronger counterstrike? The stakes are higher than ever. Rare earths aren't just another commodity. They're the lifeblood of modern technology. China dominates nearly 80% of global production, giving it outsized leverage. If tensions spiral, industries from electric vehicles to defense systems could face crippling shortages. Meanwhile, Wall Street's nervous reaction underscores how deeply intertwined the two economies remain, despite years of decoupling rhetoric. Now let's debate. Who's really at fault? Is China's rare earth strategy a legitimate defense of national security, or an economic weapon in disguise? And does Trump's aggressive tariff approach force China to the table, or risk triggering a full-blown trade war? Share your take in the comments. Should the U.S. diversify its rare earth supply chains, or is negotiation the only viable path forward? Reported by Eduardo Baptista in Beijing and Selena Lee in Hong Kong. Edited by William Mallard. For transparency, Reuters adheres to the Thomson Reuters Trust Principles.